Hello, welcome to Scott's Landing. My name is Martha Bell, Environmental Educator at Island Heritage Trust, and today we'll have a chance to walk down the trails on this beautiful July day, and we'll see what we find in the fields and in the forest, and eventually making our way to the beach. Thank you for joining me. We're starting off on the trail, but we have a caution sign right here that's telling us about the brown-tail moth. This is a moth that is an invasive moth, and we've done our best to clip all the webs out of the trees, but there's so many, we still have a brown-tail moth problem. And the caterpillars are out, and they have little hairs on them that can cause rashes and sometimes respiratory issues. So we ask everyone to be cautious as they walk the trail. We are now at the first field as we go along the trail at Scott's Landing, and I'm noticing all sorts of wonderful plants in this field. I see the blue flag iris, I see buttercups, I see bayberries, some clover, just endless amounts of plants here. And with all these plants, I've been noticing insects flying around. So here I have an insect net, and I will be taking this insect net and going back and forth like this, and we will find out what might be living here. Oh, there's many things hopping around in here, some so tiny. Well, I think we might have some young grasshoppers. They go through phases of metamorphosis, so they start off as an egg and then have many instars or molting phases before they're adults. So I have several of those that are hopping around. Look a little closer here. Oh, I think that was a bee. Oh, there he goes. Oh, and a moth. Going down a little bit deeper here. What do I see? Well, they're flying out so quickly. Oh, well, maybe like a little katydid? And, oh, spiders. Oh, there we have. Nice little spider right there. And some plant debris. But that was just a quick little scoop through the meadow here, and all sorts of life with insects. It makes a great place for birds, and I hear the birds in the background too. It's all connected. So we'll go further down the trail and see what we see. We've continued along the trail here, and we've been noticing lots of ferns. This fern that I have here is the interrupted fern. You'll see that there is green here, and then brown, and then green again, and it's been interrupted by this fertile area in here. So this is called the interrupted fern. At the very beginning of the trail, we came across the sensitive fern. That's one here. You'll see a lot more green along the main part here, and it's kind of a yellowish color, has a little tint of yellow to it. This one here is a New York fern, and you'll see it tapers all the way to the bottom here. Some people might even say that New Yorkers burn the candle at both ends, if that helps you remember. And then we have our hay-scented fern, which is getting very large along the edge of the trail right here. So different ferns, when you look close, there's many that you can identify. It's always nice to have a good field guide along. I picked these for educational purposes. Normally we don't break things or pick things along the trail and leave them for others, but I wanted you to get an up-close look today. Another field here at Scott's Landing, and as I entered this field, I saw a Monarch Butterfly go by. I saw a Swallowtail, and in here I have lots of goldenrod that has not flowered yet, but I even have a little gall that has made where an insect has laid an egg, and now we have this round little ball-shaped gall, and lots of flowers, even some blackberries. They are green now, but remember this, because in a month or so, this would be a great place for a snack. So I'm going to just stand here for a minute and see what kind of insects might fly by, because you can never plan these things. I hear lots of bees. I think they're getting pollen from the flowers behind me. And there's lots of little things in the air right in front of me, moving so fast I can't even identify them. And birds that might want to eat these insects. Some birds eat berries, some eat seeds, but some eat insects. We'll take a closer look at some of those butterflies that I saw earlier. So here I use the insect guide, but in my backpack I have a flower guide, and I have a fern guide, and a bird guide. So when I'm out in the field and I'm not sure what something is, sometimes I can just appreciate its beauty and its behavior, but other times I feel like I want to figure out its name and learn more about it. So that's when I use my field guides. We can all enter at different places and enjoy the natural world, but it's nice to have a little more information. I've just taken a seat here on the bench to look at my field guide, and I mentioned earlier that we saw the swallowtail butterfly. It's here in the field guide, this beautiful yellow and black, and then even you'll see some blue towards the back end here, but it's a gorgeous butterfly that was flying through the field, and it was going so fast we just couldn't quite catch it with the camera, but now you have a look and maybe you'll see some out in the field soon. The other butterfly that we saw was the Monarch Butterfly, and this Monarch Butterfly was the first one I saw of the season. It's been flying around the field, and it has migrated from Mexico. Actually, several generations it's taken to get here, but here it is, and this is a butterfly that will be around for a little while, but we're going to be looking for caterpillars and eggs on the milkweed. So there's lots ahead as far as the Monarch Butterfly goes. And the other thing I saw in the field was a gull, and this gull here is on a goldenrod, and right in the middle you'll see this ball. And what happened was a fly came along, laid its eggs in the stem here, and then the plant grew around it. And I'm going to open this up now. We're going to see what's inside. Oh, it hasn't developed very much, but sometimes when I open these, I see that there is an egg right in the middle, and other times, a little later in the season, I might see the larva, and then in the fall, sometimes I see a hole in here where once it's turned brown and the fly has come out. But it provides a lot of protection, and this matter right here, the animal can eat its way right out of the flesh. As we walk down the trail, we've seen so many wildflowers. This is a rose, the Virginia rose, and we were just noticing all the insects that were coming and going, pollinating the flower, taking pollen and running off or flying off. But this is the Virginia rose that will then have fruit on it later on. There'll be a little rose hip, and that's where the seeds will be. It can reproduce that way. Many of you might be familiar with the Rosa rugosa, which is a larger rose and larger rose hips. Sometimes people make tea out of them or will eat them. But often the view here, oh, here comes a bee. I see it coming. Just landed. It's making busy work there all over. Oh, yeah, there he is. So much work to be done. A bee's work is never done. Taking all that pollen in there, moving about. There it is. Oh, and here comes another. If you stand still long enough, something's always going to happen, has been my experience. So we had bees, and I think there was another flying insect down below. It's now out of sight, but another discovery to be made. And as I stand here, I'm seeing the new berries of the bayberry. Over here is the bayberry leaf that smells so wonderful. Oh, so just a fabulous smell. But those are the little green berries, and they will become blue and gray as the season goes along with a waxy outer coating. So much bayberry here at Scotts Landing. We've made our way to the beach. We always love making our way to the water's edge. And behind me, I have the Deer Isle Bridge. Many of you have been across that. And you're looking over at Little Deer Isle right before you get to the causeway. And we just had a black-backed gull sitting on a rock there. He just took off. And right on the beach, I've noticed a few things too. I have periwinkle shells, a little bit of a soft shell clam, and part of a blue mussel. So without much searching at all, there's treasures. I think I might look a little bit further. I'm already seeing this beautiful rockweed, and this cool water is calling my name. We've come across some amazing wildlife, maybe an underappreciated animal here, but this is the beach hoppers or amphipods, and this is seaweed that's starting to decompose. You can see this liquid brown in here and then the dry seaweed here, but when I pick it up, do you see all that hopping around? Those are helping things decompose. These are like shrimp-like animals. They're crustaceans, kind of related to the lobster. So here you are with thousands and thousands of wonderful animals to appreciate today. So I kept searching the beach. I found another shell. This is a boat shell or a slipper shell that we sometimes see attached to rocks. So that was a nice find. And then I found mussel shells that actually fit together very nicely. This is a bivalve. Something like a snail is a univalve, like a bicycle. And something like a mussel is a bivalve that has two wheels or two shells. So this is a bivalve. And we think about these blue shells and the animals. You might even think about eating mussels. But did you ever think about what the mussel eats? It's down in the water, minding its own business. It has these wonderful byssal threads that hang down from here, the little beard that attaches to the rocks. So it stays stationary, so it's in one place. So it can't run after its food. So how does it eat? It's a filter feeder. It opens up its shell just a little tiny bit. If I was going to be a blue mussel, look at here, I have my blue vest on. I have two shells, one shell, two shell. I'm going to close my shell really tight. You ever try to open up a mussel? You can't really do it, can you? But a blue mussel, when it wants, the water is over the blue mussel, it opens its shell just a little crack, and it sucks in the plankton, the little tiny plants and animals that are out there. It goes, and then squirts out the water. Oh, the tide's going out. Oh, I better close up tight. Oh, tight. The tide went out. It's hot. Oh, I'm hiding under seaweed. I have to wait. It takes 6 hours for the water to go out. 6 hours for the water to come back. This could be a long, long time. No food. Okay. Oh, it's turned. It's coming in. It's coming in. I think I get to eat again. Low tide. Gotta wait it out again. And is that not enough? It's busy eating. That's amazing. But you know what likes to eat blue mussels? This blue mussel shell sits there, minding its own business, eating, having a very important job, just like our hoppers did right here, and just like our periwinkles would scrape the algae. We have this blue mussel minding its own business, but then the sea star comes along. 5-armed sea star comes along and sees this mussel. It doesn't have to go very fast because the mussel can't go. Here we go. The sea star puts its arms around with its 2 feet and pulls and pulls and pulls. And then drops its stomach inside the mussel shell with its digestive enzymes, its juices, makes it sort of a liquid slurry, sucks it up, and then crawls away and leaves the empty shell behind for you to find on the beach. Lots happening on the beach we don't even see every single day, but we're learning about it with every trip to the beach. We just left the beach at Scott's Landing, and now we're in another field. Has beautiful mowed pathways surrounded by more meadow. And I have some valerian here, some purple clover, some yellow cinquefoil, even this little one, which is a yellow rattle. And as it dries and the husk and the seed separate a little bit, you shake it and it sounds like a baby rattle. So come here at all different seasons. It's beautiful today in the summertime, but there's always something that this place offers. As we're walking the trail, this bright colored flower caught our eye. This is a wood lily. There's not very many of them, but it's a special sight, and it's here in the Scott's Landing field, so we were delighted to see it. Over my right shoulder, you will see a bird nesting box. These are put out for bluebirds, but sometimes tree swallows nest in them. And I think we have some tree swallows nesting in the box that's behind me. You'll see them land, but you'll also see them fly through the air with their beaks open, catching insects. So here we are again, tying the insects to the birds. Everything is interconnected. But these swallows have the best place here with a gorgeous view, lots of insects coming and going. These birdhouses are put out by Down East Audubon as part of the Blue Bird Nesting Trail, and they're all over the county. Here we are at the Poplar Grove, wrapping up our walk today. I hope you enjoyed yourself as we meandered through these trails. I'd like to thank Missy for helping today with some of the identification as we use the Seek app, part of iNaturalist. Thank you, Missy.
You're so welcome, Martha. I'm Melissa Mile from the Stonington Library Board, and I just want to thank our friends from IHT, Martha Bell, and Jake McCarthy doing the expert camera work for these wonderfully informative videos that allow us to visit our treasured islands. And thank you.
And if you're a member, we thank you for making this all possible. If you're not a member, we invite you to join the IHT family. We'd love it if you become a member, and happy exploring.